There's been a lot of theories about the Watcher, if they're gonna play a role in this, if there's something more, you know, but I don't know. I never got the impression that the Watcher was reflected on every moon. I don't know, though. I genuinely don't know. It could very well be that that's the case, but to, like, be a guardian of every single piece? Maybe. The moon. When Xenos brought me here, I remember feeling surprised that such a desolate place could exist in the source. Yeah, it's pretty depressing up here. There's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot up here. Cutscene time.
I took the liberty of informing Ishtola of our arrival. She and her entourage should be here momentarily.
Was her entourage? Oh, bunnies. Like a whole field of bunnies. Be really good. Oh no, everybody who's helping her. Right. Nidhana. Yeah, okay, sure. Kind of bummed though that she's not just surrounded by bunnies, because I think she would appreciate
I'd hoped
it.
to have everything in order sooner. My thanks for the extra hands.
Alphino and Alice stand ready at the Tower of Babel. Vrtra is also en route.
Excellent. You've done well, all of you. For my part, I've managed to prepare the ritual with help from the Watcher.
Okay, Watcher has been involved
All that
with
remains
this.
is to channel the ether from below. This should, I pray, open a gate leading to the moon of the 13th.
May I just say how excited we are to be a part of this grand undertaking. The development of the artificial Atomos was one thing, but this is an opportunity like no other.
You know Nidhana wants like the full tour of the entire moon and is just barely keeping her curiosity and excitement in check. Can you imagine Nidhana and Ishtola surrounded by bunnies talking about like technology, developments, inventions? Very cute. In my head, that's a scene that has happened or will happen.
Ishtola even managed to get a loan of elegant treatises on void sense summoning from the prized collection of the Sons of Saint Koinak. The Empire's application of etherochemistry in regulating void gates provided us with many a useful insight for our work, let me tell you.
She's just so good and pure and enthusiastic. I love her.
I asked a favor of Grahatir when we were comparing notes on cross-rift travel. Given his credentials, I was confident he wouldn't be denied.
That little smirk, I love it.
The knowledge of our forebears has brought us far, as has our own.
But it's our time
And
to
with our
shine now,
knowledge and
baby.
resources, we shall construct a void-sent containment seal on a heretofore unseen scale.
Containment seal, I'm sure, referring to the, like, workings or rune workings or...
Containment seal? Then thou wouldst make use of...
Oh, the actual Zodiac containment. Interesting. Ha 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 ha. To make sure that we don't get like a flood of void sent in.
Aye, a tried and tested means of holding dark entities at bay is readily available here. 'Twould be remiss of us not to employ it.
Very interesting.
We shall
Very
reforge the
interesting.
brands that Xenos and Fandaniel destroyed. That which held even Zodiac shall more than suffice for void scent of any persuasion.
Will this
The
change
Watcher
the
is
actual
already hard at
landscape when you
work,
complete this
tending
then?
to the most critical parts of the brand's restoration. There are, however, a number of concerning factors that remain. With your help, I'm sure we can resolve them.
Time is of the essence, so I suggest we continue this discussion as we make our way to the brands.
Let's do it. I think everybody's already theorizing about future new jobs. And since they've talked about the fact that they feel like they've kind of dug into all the Final Fantasy specific inspired ones that they would want to, and they're looking now at doing things that are like moving forward their own unique creations to 14. Although of course they might change their mind, who knows. I've been taking like any instances of magic or combat or martial forms that are mentioned in the game, and then in my head thinking like, oh, how could they spin that into a class or something? And the idea of an almost like totem wielder equivalent or something that would put down brands and like almost have that runic element, or that, you know, the inscriptions, right? The magical inscriptions, if you put things down or they have different effects. Pretty cool. It could be an interesting sort of magical form, perhaps, that was lost to time. Also very, very cool because there's been, lots of ideas flying around, because there's been a lot of discussion about the Pandemonium raids, and I won't get into like the spoilers specifically for those in huge detail, but the magical platforms and things that you stand on essentially almost being like the unique magical handwriting of the people creating them. Like, you know, Themys's magical workings and runic inscription or that kind of thing is different. Arcane sigils, I guess you could say, are different in appearance than, you know, any of the other ancients, for that example, or La Habrea, and this is beautiful because you can tell that this is Venat, right? The Venat inscription, and or specifically perhaps the Venat Hydaelyn inscription, which may be unique even to that entity versus just Venat. Although I think we see in the duel with her some examples of her sort of magical weaving, if I'm remembering correctly. But that is something that we don't have a class that like does on a full focal aesthetic scale yet, right? Just weaving those kinds of inscriptions and things to create field of effects, or, you know, weave those magics in some kind of way, shields, or not to like the full scale. We have some examples of it, but nothing that's like completely themed around that.
So this is one of the brands that once imprisoned Zodiark. Were I to describe it to my comrades back home, I doubt my words could do it justice.
How did you fare with the preparations below? Fine! Zero knows what friendship is now, so... The seal we mean to erect, I assume it won't hinder a half-void scent like me from going in the other direction. Good question, though. Ishtola hath done well indeed to devise a seal in so short a time. 'Tis a testament to her ingenuity in times of need. Yeah, she's brilliant and amazing and powerful and beautiful. She is everything. Now then, to the matter at hand. With the Watcher's assistance, we shall reforge each of Zodiark's brands and use them to erect a barrier capable of repelling void scent. Yet, though we expect it to be effective against larger beings on account of its original purpose, there is a chance it will allow lesser void scent to slip through. Therefore, we shall require a second line of defense, and I believe the Loporrits supporters would be suitable for this purpose. Urianger, Arden, the two of you have a strong rapport with our lunar allies. I would have you meet with Livingway and Bestway's Burrow and provide any assistance they require. I will join you. As a void scent, my knowledge may be of use. An excellent idea. In the meantime, the rest of us will see to reforging the brands. I will send word when we are finished. Pray, do the same. Okie dokie! Back to the bunnies we go. I hope there's not like a whole side quest chain thing over there. I hope it's just like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. Our robots will protect everybody. Because I cannot keep waiting. I want this void action to kick off. I want this culmination of the conflict with Golbez. I want whatever stuff's in store. I'm so excited to see it, honestly. And see like where they leave us in this patch. I'm so curious. Is it going to be like a hard end? Is there going to be, like I was talking about earlier, is there going to be something that seems like it's like a cliffhanger leading us into what's next? There's definitely been some sprinkled throughout foreshadowing, I think, of perhaps where we're going, whatever this job is that we see people being hired for, Aaronville perhaps leaving for a long time to go to. I feel like all of that is building up to perhaps the next launching point for the arc, but how this one is culminated, I'm ready.
Living way, I trust thou hast been well.
What does Zero think of them?
What are these things?
Loporrits!
There you are! Ishtola has apprised me of your present undertaking. I understand that she wishes to deploy our pride and joy, the veritable carrots of our eye, our unrivaled combat supporters, as a precautionary measure in case this voidsent containment seal of hers proves lacking. As we speak, my fellows are rounding up what units they can, and will bring them to the northeast corner in short order. Please wait there. We had to get them out from the Rave Party Club, but they'll get everything in order.
Can you imagine taking Zero to like the Dreamatorium?
Zero, now it's time to find a new dream. Don't mind these rabbits that are about to swarm you, and if they give you glow sticks, just dance with them. Just go wild. Go buck wild. Okay, down we go. Despite their bestial appearance, these creatures are highly intelligent, and much like you and yours, they take pleasure in helping others.
Ever grateful am I for the Loporrits' irrepressible compulsion to help. We'll give them more purpose, you know? Defeating voidsent incursions, maybe not their original purpose, but still important. Still important.
Dreadfully sorry to have kept you all waiting.
Here's our death robots.
Hello there, friends. A new person. Heard there was a bit of a rush, so we gathered what combat-ready supporters we had available.
Ah, the Loporrits. They are very good, and I do
welcome
always. They
contribution.
make me smile.
Thine initiative never ceaseth to amaze.
Oh, stop! You're making me blush. Though we have fulfilled the purpose given to us by Heidelin, aiding the people of Atheris remains our greatest joy.
The sleepy
So
boy
you
still.
can count on us.
Napping Way, is that his
and
name?
Always. Right, so we originally deployed these supporters to patrol the moon and keep it safe. They'd never tussled with voidsent before, but with sufficient data, they ought to hold their own against the ghastly fiends. Practical, tactical data acquired in the moment. And who better to give the supporters an educational thrashing than the champion of a
Well, you know, we hadn't had any duty instances yet, so.
I believe I would make a better instructor.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about this. Zero is an actual voidsent. Oh my
Not only
gosh.
have I fought voidsent, I am one.
Oh my god, Zero! Stop, you're giving me chills. Oh, these poor babies. You went a little too hard. You went a little too hard, Zero. We're gonna reel it back. We're gonna reel it back, though.
Well, don't just stand there. Engage!
Sleeping Way, that's his name.
Engage! Engage!
She's gonna just destroy them, isn't she? Oh no!
That'll do, that'll do! A defeat bitterer than the bitterest carrot. Using this experience, we must enhance the supporters and turn them into voidsent slaughterbots!
Slaughterbots?
Indeed. Right after we've managed to put the poor dears back together.
Slaughterbots assemble.
Pray forgive our comrade's enthusiasm. May I inquire as to how long the repairs will take?
On an ordinary day, I'd say no less than 5 carrots briskly consumed. if you were to provide us with encouragement.
What kind of encouragement? What you need?
We just might be able to do it in two.
Positive words, treats, snacks, gifts. Arden's like, what? My turn? It's Orianje's turn. Yeah, that's right. There's two of us now. There's no escaping.
This I leave to you.
The little, like, creaky head noises. Dang it, Orianje! We didn't get nose goes fast enough. Fine, we'll do it. The Loporrits' eyes twinkle with anticipation as they await your buoyant exhalation. To wit, they yearn for you to rally their spirits. I got you, little buddies.
The repairs? Oh, they proceed apace, I assure you. But they might go even more swiftly if you were to spur us on. Rally us, as it were. Weak, 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 weak.
You got it!
What a marvelous feeling! There's nothing like wild gesticulations of encouragement to fire you up.
What does Sleeping Way have to say?
Rally the engineers. Engage.
I hope that was a really authentic yawn. It kind of became a real yawn halfway through it.
What? Engage! Engage! Oh, sorry, I was in the midst of... Forgive me. The sight of precision parts is strangely soothing and sleep-inducing. But I'll try to keep moving.
That's me anytime it hits 10 o'clock p.m.
Oh, what could be more splendiferous than to repair our supporters under the loving gaze of people from Etheres? Nothing, I tell you, nothing. Save for one such individual to rally us while we go about it, but a humble Loporrit can only dream.
Here you go.
With you cheering me on, I can do not less than my very best.
They even use a little music from the Loporrit quests.
Never fear, we should ensure the supporters are ready for any void sent brazen enough to slip through. And if they seem to struggle, we'll rally them. Or at least we would, if someone were kind enough to demonstrate.
You got it, little buds.
Oh, thank you very, very much. You don't know how uplifting it is to have you encouraging us. I mean, showing us the proper techniques so we may keep our supporters operating at peak efficiency.
All right.
My, everyone is in high spirits indeed. Thanks to your encouragement, we'll have the supporters up and running again in no time. Pray attend to your remaining busy work and leave the deployment of our new and improved void sent slaughter bots to us.
It's just hearing them say the word slaughter that really gets me. But look, you gotta meet Zero's energy with something just as fierce. And, I mean, I guess Slaughterbot it is. Thankfully, this was an adorable but short little side trek here.
Can you hear me? We've just finished restoring the brands.
I guess it also gives them an opportunity to take us down to a part of the map so that if there is something like a shifted version of the appearance of the map as we go up, then we'll see it separately. Maybe that's what that was about.
Let us reconvene once you've finished tending to matters there. The culmination of our efforts is nigh.
Okay. Now this, for real, is the time we go back to the void. The red side of the moon, ooh. Ah, like we saw over on the other side. Ishtola, was it? Yes.
The brands are ready, I presume. Excellent. With the Loporrits having deployed their supporters, we are ready to proceed. Let us rejoin Y'shtola post-haste and prise open our gate unto the void.
It did change it. It did. You can see that all the brands are intact again. Okay, so make you go down there for just a little second while this all gets to be updated. I see how it is. I see how it is. Let's go down then and see if it worked. This is it. I have duly informed Y'shtola of our task's completion. While you tend to matters in the 13th, I shall remain here and ensure the integrity of gate and seal both. Some manner of cactar attempted to make mischief, but no one came to harm. How did you fare? the wild saboteur, or the moon saboteur, it looks like a giant skinny noodle. With Estinian keeping us safe, we were able to finish repairing the brands without incident. Okay, that's everybody. Let's talk to Y'shtola then. My thanks for seeing to the supporters. With this, all is in readiness for the ritual. First, I shall give the order to Alphino and Alice in the Tower of Babel to channel Aether to the moon. Once we've amassed a sufficient amount of energy, Urianger and I shall begin our incantations to open a void gate. If all goes well, a tear will form in the fabric of reality, at which point you must activate the brands and put in place the containment seal. That is all. If there are no questions, then let us begin. Let's do it! Let's summon a different thing here and imprison it. Are we gonna fight him here, or are we gonna go into the void? We have to go in because we have to get Azdaja out. So, just making a big portal, having this containment thing to make sure they don't get through.
Apologies for the wait. The preparations here are finally complete.
Excellent.
Let's go!
The Tower 2 is activated, but give the word and we will begin channeling the ether.
Very well then. Make it so.
The moment of truth.
Let's see how it goes. Oh, it's very similar to like the shots of the two of them in binding coils. That's sweet. But now they actually are working in tandem and they love each other again. What's it gonna be like on the other side? Are we gonna learn more about like who Golbez is in this specific universe? I think he's that blonde guy that had the braids. But I don't know, there was that person with him that seemed like very mysteriously always out of frame, wearing heavy armor kind of situation. So maybe he is just like doing this because he lost his friend, his ally? I don't know. We'll see. Whoa! That's no joke! That's a lot of ether!
Sisters.
Okay, have fun with that. Weave it into something.
Commence your invocations. 'Tis time to open our gate.
Invocations is what I think they actually specifically refer to with like the rune working. I think we've heard them referred to that way. Could be wrong, but I think we've heard them referred to that way. That is so much just straight up power.
A tear is beginning to form. Quickly, activate the brands.
Kind of massively impressive that just the two of them can hold this down too. You would think you would need like an army of mages to be able to corral something like this, but I guess with like all of the proper stuff in place, it probably channels in a more efficient way. Here go those seals. Oh, it's gonna make like a oh wow, okay. keep doing this. One of these days it's gonna all catch up with her.
Success. The gate is open, and the seal appears to be in place.
Let's see how well it holds.
Do we just like jump in? We gotta mount. Impressive. I mean, Vrtra has to make it up here too, so. This one poor guy's like, what's on this side? It's about to get so wrecked.
What an enormous gate! Lord Golbez will be eager to hear of this.
Yeah, well, not exactly in the way you wanted.
So this is the promised land. The land of boundless ether.
There we go. I was gonna say, when is he gonna hit the barrier? Goodbye.
I dare say the seal doth serve its purpose.
There's our boy. Look at him in his full fine form. Hi, buddy.
I see all proceedeth apace. Remarkable.
I love that when he goes to his like original body, he's just like got the best old man voice, old man dragon voice.
Indeed. Just this moment, a void scent emerged from the gate, by which we may safely assume it leads to the 13th.
I mean, I
It's
hope
incredible, Ishtola. Truly incredible. Oh, what an honor it is to have been part of this historic achievement.
I really hope as well that Vrtra doesn't like draw hordes of void scent like a beacon because of all of his ether on the other side. Although if we are on the moon,
Apart is an understatement.
looking at
None
the void,
of
it
this
might
would have
be
been
harder for them
possible
to get up
without
there.
you and yours. Our success has also served to solidify our understanding of cross-rift travel.
Has it?
The
Good.
Ascians rejoined reflections to the source by instigating elemental imbalances. These imbalances weakened the barrier between realities, causing the ether of a reflection to flood the source. But why is it that reflections are predisposed to rejoin the source? Why have they never merged with one another?
True.
Thou art suggesting there is a unique property inherent to the source, one responsible for such an outcome.
I mean, it was the original source that everything else was split from.
I am. 'Tis my conclusion that, as the point of origin for the reflections, the source has an innate pull over them.
I mean, it makes sense.
Hydaelyn, I believe, sought to suppress that pull, which is why she was created with the power of light, of stasis.
Oh, interesting. So she created herself, she like evoked herself into a being that
Meanwhile, the power of
specifically would
darkness,
oppose that.
Of activity reigns in the void. Hydaelyn's influence would naturally be weaker, and this manifested in the form of planar fissures. Working with this hypothesis, I set my sights upon where the pull was assessed to be strongest, and through our combined efforts, we succeeded in opening a gate to the void. Now, I must stress, it was because we sought the void that we
see, okay.
succeeded. Pleased though I am to have my theory proven, the secrets of travel to other reflections still elude us.
Okay, okay. So they're still trying to like make that something where it's not like a fully open door at this point, but I mean, perhaps because this was the focal point of so many of the efforts of the rejoining and the like Zodiac reunion pull and the moon, right? Like previous attempts to create void gates, other than that which the Alligans instigated, because the Crystal Tower, I think, had the most success as far as large scale, massive, sustainable rifts into something like the void that they powered using I mean, the power of incredibly, phenomenally magical primals and all of that prayer power that was being generated through their terrible imprisonment and torture that they did. So it makes sense that this wasn't something that, like, perhaps previously up to this point was achievable, but that finding this place where that pull is strongest, or those polarities, you know, would be able to be manipulated in a sense, would allow them to do this. So I you know what? I buy into it. I buy into it.
Even so, in the reality that lies beyond the 8th umbral calamity, there are those who found a way to reach the first.
They did.
I will not rest until I do the same.
One step closer to fulfilling your dream, eh?
Just a step. Many more remain to be taken.
But hey, you know, we're getting there. You gotta celebrate every success.
Me to forestall a void-sent invasion. So come, let us set forth to find Azdaja and put an end to Golbez's plot.
It's business time.
Climb upon my back.
We get to ride
I
him!
shall take us to the gate.
Yay!
As we did discuss prior, I shall see the alchemists safely home, then together with the Loporrits maintain vigil over the gate.
May the sisters watch over and keep you safe.
Thanks, Nidhana. Okay, gonna ride this dragon into the void. The music, the Keeper of the Lake music. Oh, look at us finally getting to ride him.
To the void once more.
We're going back in. Oh, what's gonna await us on the other side? I mean, I'm assuming we're going straight to the moon. I'm assuming we're gonna probably pretty directly confront Golbez, if we go straight to the moon. But it is interesting because that void sense said, like, my Lord Golbez will be excited to hear about this. So you think that if this portal had opened, like, right above Golbez's head, that he would know about it. But we'll see. Traversing this endless expanse is much better when you're riding a beautiful dragon. Okay. You know, we looked like we weren't feeling so great there for a second, but I think we're fine. I mean, there's that red rock. This looks like the moon.
This is the moon of the 13th.
Apparently so. Ominous new music. Oh, and you can see, like, compared to our world, how the globe is so warped.
It is. Ever since the flood, it has been a sanguinary orb in the sky.
No void scent. A rather more subdued reception than I had anticipated.
I mean, maybe he found out what was happening.
But unsurprising, given how jealously Golbez conceals the location of his domain.
Oh, perhaps his domain is, like, nestled here.
Still, we must remain on guard. One of his minions came through the gate, after all, and more may lie in wait.
I do not sense my sister. Where could she be? Where?
Patience.
Steady, Vrtra. We've barely arrived. Let us explore our surrounds before drawing conclusions.
We all gotta be cool, keep it cool. I know.
Yes, thou art right. I shall survey the moon from above. The ground I leave to you all.
I know he's super powerful and ancient and like probably way stronger than the vast majority of the characters that we spent time with, but I worry about him. Please be careful up in the sky, Vrtra, please. The color palette here is so cool. I love the saturated hues and the purple and then the red of the moon. Oh, I bet you we're gonna have a map zone! Inverted color map zone! Okay, so here we do not have the brands, although it does look like there was a point of impact. So, piece of Zodiark here, yes, very possible, but it doesn't seem like the actual brand imprisonment had to be maintained everywhere. Wow, wow! It kind of feels like Mars or something. And I'm assuming this music has to be a throwback to 4 or something. The surface of the moon is a grim shade of crimson, a consequence of the flood of darkness, perhaps. What does the Simian have to say? My lance will be ready should any more of Golbez's pawns appear. Okay. Got a few more spots to look at. Mysterious, mysterious. But there did seem to be some kind of structure that Golbez has been like issuing orders out of. Maybe that is just his domain, and maybe domains are kind of like, they aren't physical space, but sort of more of like a magical liminal space, if that makes sense. No matter how you strain your eyes, you spy no signs of life. In all directions extends a desolate waste without end. Yeah, man, that seems pretty on point. No sign of a watcher or any Loporrits. Perhaps they were swallowed up in the flood of darkness, or perhaps they never existed here. See, that's what I'm wondering. The source itself, like we were saying, if it has some sort of special innate property, if it, right, it is the source of all things and the source of all of this, it seems to me like you wouldn't have all of those things everywhere else. But that's also kind of grim, because what about all the other people on all the other shards? Like, if you have this final failsafe for the people of the source, that is this lunar traversal bunny escape moon, right? Then what about all the other life forms that you kind of condemned to different reflections? Was it the ultimate goal of the Loporrits to be able to go between all of those? Was it really only meant to be something that was truly like the end of the world is here, all the other reflections, or most of them, have likely been merged, so as it is, like, we have to send whoever survives via the moon? Could be something like that with the Loporrits. You hold your breath in an attempt to catch the faintest noise. Save for the sounds of your comrades, there is nothing. So far, you have failed to find any clues. Sorry, I'm trying my best. Perhaps Zero has noticed something that you have missed. Can we go up to the edge and like peek inside and see what's in there? If there even is anything. Okay, so you can see the ruins here. You can see down into the basin, even. There are brands. Now, hold on a second. Those are brands. Or at least they share the exact same model. So perhaps he was branded across. Each piece had its own brand and seal on it. But these brands seem like they were placed lower to begin with, or
The chasm has caught your attention as well.
Yeah. You know me so well, Zero.
There's some manner of structure below. Worth a look, wouldn't you say?
I too sense something here.
Like what?
This pit much resembles the Cradle of Darkness on our moon, where Zodiac was once imprisoned. If this place serves the same function, then a fragment of his power must have been sealed in the depths.
Okay, so confirmation on that, theoretically.
Strange, though. When Zodiac perished in the Source, I presumed that every aspect of him was thus unmade, and his power scattered. But it's unmistakable. The darkness that permeates this abyss. Could a trace of him yet remain? Or is it something else?
I mean, if these were meant to hold everything separate and in stasis, maybe those other pieces, yeah, are just still fixed there and have to be dissipated similarly. I don't know if he could be resummoned from it, or I have no idea, but you know, obviously he wouldn't be as strong as his core body. It could also just be that if Golbez did consume that like hunk of Zodiac, it was transformed enough that it wasn't recognized as a part of the whole anymore. Be careful! Fly safe! He senses her.
I hear thee, sister. I hear thee.
But don't just rush in there alone, bud! Okay, he didn't. Okay. He's smart. He's wise. He's good.
Here, within this chasm.
He knows the power of friendship. Down we go! Into the cradle of darkness, as it were. I feel like whenever we start getting to the actual, like, big moments at the end of a patch, I'm just like, the whole time. There's the throne. There she is. Dragon speech makes a triumphant return! Aww. He's waited like literally ages on ages on ages.
You were entrusted with Azdaja's eye, were you not?
To be here, not even knowing if he could be. That's all yours. Take it back. There you go. There you go. Oh, she missing both of her eyes? No, okay, okay. She didn't have one. They were just closed. I love her horn shape. It's really cool. Okay.
Cool on.
And her voice is really good too. Everything about her. 15 out of 10.
Oh, Wakom Vrtra.
Li Tao An King sees DS Isom in Fesk.
The reunion is really happening.
Esin An Ka An Fesk Wes An Ulin.
I mean, this moment is definitely about, like, the party's about to be, just, what is the word I'm looking for? Somebody's about to crash the party, and we know who it's gonna be. Golbez is gonna... But this one beautiful moment was well worth the journey.
Seth es lis na fes on ner no vel ac stra idran esk es I nesh I go ac.
Well, then we better go kick Golbez's ass. I'm just saying.
So this is indeed Golbez's domain. Keys are in.
Oh my gosh, yeah, when she came over here, that still would have been... Where in the timeline does that all fall? Had the stuff happened already with ancient predecessors of Ishgard? I want to say yes. And then the war with the Allegan Empire. But Mercidia did have, like, mortal races that were semi-allies in the fight, or at least nations that were fighting alongside the dragons, right? She has missed a lot.
Sis es dir antar.
Okay, I like the timbre of her voice, but you could tell that the voice actress was not as into the draconic, like, accent. They're like, is an in tar. Like, as opposed to that more, like, echoey, vowel-filled sort of sound to it.
For war Meradarn I Alan an. Les I el kol an. Zdis sorn I rum. Snar Tiamat an. Kai ros an. Ke ul ke darn morn. Dis an. Kai an. Na stra an.
Could also be maybe something with, like, the layering effects they do on her voice, like if they needed to, like, add another layer or something.
Nartal king in eyes. Athan Endran Esktayan.
Actually, I think what it is that she doesn't roll the R's. As I was just listening to him, I'm so sorry. This is the thing that my brain would be thinking about. She doesn't, like, dran. She goes drawn. So I think that if the vocal direction had her even roll them a bit more, that might have had a bit more of that round, full sound that, like, the other dragons have and Tiamat does. It doesn't matter. This is still very interesting. I just have a fascination with how they realize the draconic language in this game, so my ear is like, hold on, as I just think through it. But this is beautiful to see that she is going to be coming back to a world where those hostilities have, through bloodshed and suffering on all sides, have finally given way to something more beautiful. And I had not thought about that from her perspective on the other side of this, now coming back to the world. I mean, I wonder if there's going to be a period of adjustment for that, but I mean, I'm sure her brother will help with it.
I'll call his has ern udlar on. Est les ud on. Ses
Razatan.
Snorsung an high hes in an.
Ta hes an elgon osk in. Ses kidir in an kasta an. Sta in es kata tai an.
So it was a bargain.
Stra in sorn.
What now then?
Does this great worm intend to remain a captive meal for all eternity? Not daring to test her chains?
Yeah, girl, come on, rise up. You're as bad as my brother about that. I kind of ate him, but like, it's cool. Because I think it's brought him peace, but like, not also, I didn't eat him, but like, we are kind of one. It's a long story, we'll tell you about the Dragon Song War later.
Kis Targo, Asrael Dis Tar, Sma Ost In Sis An.
Why is Golbez just letting us have this nice little chat?
Now there's a start. So, what can you tell us?
I love that Estinian has just become like the one who harasses dragons, but in a way that benefits them. He needed that himself, right? He needed some of that forceful encouragement to be like, stop it with your bad habits. Stop it with this quest for revenge. Look at you, you're covered in ketchup. You have to bathe. And you have to clean your armor. He needed that tough love. He needed to make some changes in his life, and he did. And now he can do the same for dragons, which is really all that any of us could hope for in our brief mortal existences.
Asis Tar Nogol In. Do es Inesh Igor Sorn. Ka Som Mo Go. Skom Les An. Som
Location to the south.
Sis.
Well, you heard her. Shall we look into this spot near and dear to our enemy's heart?
Yeah, let's do it. And then we'll free her. So good, so good. Vrtra, I mean, both of them had some really nice moments of inflection in their voice acting in there, especially when you're dealing with like a fake made-up language and you're supposed to be eternal, immortal, long-lived, super magical, non-human beings. I mean, it's tough, I think, to give weight, but not at the cost of nuance. And I think they both had some lovely little moments in there where you could tell like how overjoyed he was to see her, and you could tell how like just despondent she had become and things like that, but that she maybe now has a little bit of hope, like you could sense a little bit. Hold on, I wanted to see. We have these friendos, but oh my gosh, they're pretty far out. But I want to get their dialogue, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna use that sprint, and we're gonna do it. 'Tis a comfort to see that Azdaja's spirit remains unbroken. Let's find this mystery location Golbez so favors. Yeah, she's strong. Let's go talk to Y'shtola. How's Y'shtola doing after, my gosh, that huge working of magic? A place Golbez visits without fail. If there were some distortion in the ambient ether, I would be able to find it with ease. Okay, back to 0. I wonder what the location to the south could be. I mean, it could be something like the Watcher's Tower. I hope it's something unique to this particular moon, though. We'll see. The others have already begun searching for clues. Let us do the same. I'll take charge of this area, if you could see to the south. Okie dokie. Oh, okay, yeah, well, they're gonna have me run right past them anyway. We checked. That's what matters. It's the most important. We'll go further south, and we can't use mounts here, which I guess makes... What? Suddenly, a dragon appears. And it also makes sense why perhaps Golbez wouldn't have noticed us specifically, like this portal that's appeared and things, if he is preoccupied with whatever is to the south. I could not discern a structure of any kind from above. Whatever this place or object might be, Golbez hath hidden it well. That's my best old man dragon voice for Vrtra. It's not as good, I don't think, as my version of my humanoid version of him. But it's hard for me to sound like an old man. A glint from beneath the rock catches your eye. What is? It really is anybody's guess.
Did you find something?
What they decide to do with Golbez. I give myself to the whims of the writers. Oh.
A memoria. But whose?
Good question. Let's find out. Probably that Highlander we saw, right? Preserved here? And this whole thing will be a lesson about friendship and trust. Even maybe in the dark places it can lead you. This is the armored figure. So this person would be the one who's...
You have lied, pillaged, and murdered. Have you anything to say in your defense?
Okay, Durante. The intensity is, you know, it's great. It's great. You're really bringing it. But maybe we could dial it back like a little bit because it seems like this is less heroic and more evil. Also, I'm guessing the crystal must be from the imprisoned spirit of this person, the armored person, right? Because it's their perspective that we're watching through this. So this has to be Golbez then.
No. Every one of them got what they deserved. Trusting fools. Like you would-be heroes. Aye. You do well to keep a close eye on each other. It always ends the same way. A knife in the back. And better to have the handle towards your hand.
That's a good line.
You'll see. Oh, yes. You will.
You're gonna do it. Yeah, you're gonna do it. I mean, just do it. If you're gonna do it, just do it. I get that a lot of these people were bad, but this doesn't seem like a great heroic solution either. In death, may your soul find salvation.
I can't bring myself to pray for the unrepentant. You're a nobler man than I.
Why is this dialogue written this way? Oh, come now. I choose to believe that, had these men known peace and plenty, they would not have been consumed by mistrust and avarice.
Victims of the Contra Memoria, then. Like so many others. But we will end it.
Very strange that this being does not have a voice. Even Ardbert was voiced. So, I'm curious.
Thank you. I shudder to imagine what might have happened if you hadn't dealt with the Dark Ones.
Who is that?
Oh, her? She's like you, I hear. Hunts Loporrits taken by darkness.
Well, well. A kindred spirit. Perhaps we will finally have a new comrade.
Who is this mysterious armored figure? It would be very cool if they were non-verbal and like signed or something.
No.
I don't think that's what's happening.
I've no
though.
interest in working with others. Much less someone who looks as suspicious as you.
I can't help how they look. Oh, dang it, I missed it again.
If there's nothing else, I'll be on my way.
Okay, fine. Gotta keep an eye out. It's just a different type of text.
Even when we share the same goal, we can't overcome the mistrust. Such is the way of things, the wisdom of our era.
Only a precious few Loporrits remain who cling to the light. Would that we could have won her over.
We'll make do, old friend. We have accomplished much already, and another person may well have been more of a hindrance than help.
Durante, you really gotta dial it back with the I'm definitely the evil guy. My voice is like Golbez's voice kind of thing. It makes me mistrust you so much. And maybe that's the lesson. Maybe Durante does end up stabbing us in the back.
Now then,
This is so
our
sus.
work here is finished. His Majesty has summoned us, so let us not delay. To Baron.
Enigmatic. Interesting. I am intrigued. I mean, do you think it's Meteor? I can't keep confining myself to just this thought. It really could be anyone.
Another vision of the past, did you?
But it just seems like such an emphasis on this figure. Like, were they already a void sense? I like the kind of playing with the story where we see earlier in a flashback Zero's perspective of it, and then later we see the other side of it. That's a very cool storytelling device, so I think that's a really neat way to do that cutscene. I said it earlier, and this time I'm genuinely going to do it. I'm going to let them just carry me on this story. I'm going to stop my wild tinfoil hat theories, even though that's just who I am. And I'll never stop, actually. But I'm going to see. I'm interested in where they're taking us.
What? I was in it.
Yeah.
It's them. The pair I met in that village. Which means the one sealed in this memoria is...
So, you have come. You, who would oppose our crusade.
I mean, that is straight. That's the guy we saw. That's Durante. Or Durant, perhaps. But I do think that maybe he truly believes this is the way to go about it, you know? That this is a way to save them? And he's maybe manifested his friend's appearance.
I know you.
Is that so? From the world before, I dare say. 'Tis impressive enough that you have managed to retain your mortal form, but to remember your past besides. But that is of no moment. You are the Loporrit who vanquished my minions, correct?
Guilty as
And
charged.
what if I am?
Then, I would bid you join me. As a child of our world and slave to the wheel, fight with me for the salvation of all our souls.
That phrasing, slave to the wheel, that's cool. Like the wheel that keeps turning and like bringing them back to life and bringing them back to life. Interesting.
Fight with you. More like fight as your pawn. It isn't me you want, but my power. And if I don't obey, you'll bind me like you bound that dragon.
That's not what trust and friendship is!
But no more. I refuse to be bound ever again. I fight only for myself, and for those in whom I trust. My friends.
Yes! Yes!
I see. A pity. It is for the dragon that you have come, yes? When first you appeared, I thought simply to remove a threat to our plan. Never did I imagine that you would reach this place and gift me a golden opportunity.
Speak plainly. Stop talking in riddles.
Long as it has been imprisoned, this dragon has grown feeble and weak, its spirit extinguished.
Don't say that about my girl. She is beautiful.
Your coming has served to rekindle her forgotten hope. Her yearning to be free, to return home. That is the key to our deliverance.
Oh, get your stink off her. You keep your no good stinky void energy off of her. Oh, I guess that it's...
The darkness is ravaging her. She's becoming a void scent.
Oh.
Vrtra! Smash!
We'll fix her, we'll fix her, we'll fix her. She's gonna be fine, we'll fix her.
Rise, O shadow dragon, and obey.
It's gonna be alright. We have the power to... That's a lot of bad energy, huh? Oh, you made her like a noodle.
Kill him.
No, not your brother, you love him. Ooh. Oh my god, she can shoot laser beams?
Damn you!
Now you done made Estinian angry, so you better watch out. Oh, his minions.
Keep our guests occupied.
Oh my gosh! I love that it's all the different enemies we've seen over the years and, you know, various void-related content. You will stop beating up on my dragons! I'm gonna save both of you. I'm gonna save everybody. Big hero time, here we come. Man, he is large though, huh? I've seen bigger. This is the trial, right?
Darkness swallowed the world. I fought tirelessly in a war without end. The experience taught me to discern the strong, that dragon, and you.
Oh, me? What? What, me? Get ready. You hurt my dragons, I'm coming for you. Oh, this is neat with the platform, though. Hoo-hoo-hoo! This is the cube that we saw previewed. I wonder if it's gonna, like, shift or rotate? Or, like, Rubik's Cube?
Face me.
Rest assured, I need no invitation. Summon them! Just a quick little picture. as a treat.
Accursed light. You, who have ever basked in its warmth, could never understand our envy, our agony. You will not deny us our release.
It's time! The Voidcast die is now accessible! Okay, I'm so pumped for this. I don't know anything about the fight, but again, like the dungeon, I've heard that people did say it was fun and that they actually like the extreme version, so I am looking forward to it because I know that Rubicante ended up being a little more formulaic than a lot of us were hoping. That first run was still so fun of it, and I still really like a lot of the visuals of that fight and some of the unique mechanic stuff that they played with that kind of like shifting of the pieces, but it did end up kind of boiling down to a pretty simple solution. So this is gonna be a fun one, and we're gonna do it together. So let me get my allies summoned, ready, and in the fight, and we are gonna get queued up.